Some of your alpines might have this style of low point drains in the water bay, like mine does. And a lot of people are real quick to want to replace everything with something new and spend more money. And yeah, I could go buy a set of snake bike, or it's not snake bike, shark bike fittings and cut all this out and splice it all in. But you know, if you spend a couple of minutes assessing the situation and fixing it, more often than not, with a little bit of TLC and preventative maintenance, you can keep most everything on your Alpine working, keep it originally equipped, and not burn up a bunch of money on stuff that you could use the money for other things for. So when we were up in West Yellowstone, I noticed that the high point, the low point drains were sticking, and not sticking, but they had just a little drop to them. And I noticed when I try to pull this one up, it's a little stiff. In fact, it's really stiff, and it shouldn't be quite that stiff. And I can't remember this spring if I pulled these out and cleaned them and lubricated the O-rings or not. So that's probably what's wrong. I could have probably tried to fix them when we were up in West Yellowstone, but all I had was just a very tiny drip, maybe one drip every 45 seconds. And so rather than risk taking these apart and then having no water in the Alpine, I left them alone. And so we'll pull these apart, and you saw how stiff the hot water side was. That's the red one. The cold one pulled up easy and appears to go down easy, but it also was had just a little drip. So we'll take these apart, show you what the O-rings look like. We'll lubricate them, reinstall them, and then see if things are okay. And so you can see the little spring clip that I've removed from the hot water side. And with this clip removed, this will now allow me to pull this T-handle out, and we can take a look at the O-rings. Okay, so we now have the hot water side low point drain removed, and as you can see, everything down inside the housing itself appears to be in good shape. And we'll take a little closer look, and I see nothing in there that warrants me to run out and either buy a new low point drain like this or a shark bite fitting or anything else. There's no cracks in the fitting. So we'll take a look at the O-ring now, O-rings on the handle portion. Okay, this is the hot side low point drain T-handle removed. As you can see, there's two O-rings there. And so we'll zoom in a little bit better so that I can see, using the magnifier on the cell phone with these old tired eyes of mine. And you can see yourself perhaps if there's any issues with these O-rings being cracked, anything wrong with the stem assembly, the T-handle that the O-rings are attached to. I see nothing wrong with this, so we're going to lubricate this, and I use a little petrolatum jelly, and we'll put that on there, and we'll see if the T-handle moves much more free and seats and seals like it should. Okay, so we've lubricated the two O-rings, we've reinstalled the T-handle, and I'm going to use one thumb now, and you notice now that T-handle will go all the way down and seat, and that's what it wasn't doing before. And we'll zoom in on that. And when the T-handle is nice and flush like that, that tells you that you've got a properly seated T-handle fitting, and you can see it just pulled completely out. The reason it pulled out is I don't have the spring clip installed yet, but you can see how easy that goes, and it seats all the way. I can turn this around, and everything's nice and free. So we'll put the clip back in and demonstrate that. Okay, we now have the retainer clip installed so that the T-handle won't pull out. And if you notice now, when I pull it out, in fact, it stops. It's held in place by the spring clip, and you can notice there's a good extension on the low point drain. And we'll use one finger, and you notice that that's seated all the way down flush, so there's no issues with it. And you can see this one is not seating all the way down like it should, and I'm pressing pretty hard. Now it finally seated, but that's too hard, so we'll pull this one out and we'll do the same thing. Okay, we now have the cold water side pulled out, and we'll take a look down inside here. There's just a little bit of crud right up here at the top, so we're going to take a paper towel, see if we can clean that up just a little bit. And this is the same low point drain. We've cleaned it out. You can see that it's nice and clean all the way down inside there, and we'll show you the seals on it, the handle itself, and the seals are in good shape, and we've cleaned off. There was just a little bit of calcium build up on there, and so I probably forgot to pull these out this spring. It's something I do every spring, but be good as new here in a minute. We'll put just a little bit of petrolatum on here and reinstall this, and then we'll show you how easy this one works as well. Okay, we've got this one reinstalled, and we'll pull it up, and you can see it comes right out because of course I haven't installed the spring clip yet. It spins nice and easy, so I can position it to whatever direction that I want. And then we'll take the little spring clip, and we'll see if we can do this one-handed here, and we'll try to push it with these old fingers and thumbs and stuff that don't work like they used to. But I wish I was young again, but you know, what the heck. If I was young again, knowing what I know now, I might have a different lifestyle. Now, I'm gonna have to do this with two hands because one old hand won't get it done. And now after the old man used both hands, you can see that the spring clip's installed, and you can see this turns around, spins like it should. I can position them any way that I want, and when I pull up, you can see there's a nice extension, so the low point is actually going to drain, and you can hear it go down and snap. So once again, they're serviceable and they won't leak, and I saved myself a little bit of pocket change and a little bit of time taking off these PEX hose clamps and cutting all the sealing off and all this other crap. But you know, I like to fix things. A lot of other people just like to remove and replace and install something new. So whatever your fancy is. The Alpine guy out here in southern Idaho on a nice day for a change, no wind, about 68 degrees, going to get to about 75 today, so it'll be a nice day here. Take care, we'll catch you later. One other quick little video clip while I'm out here messing around and fixing things. If your water center panel has a hose like this one does, and let's see if we can get this thing zoomed out. It's early in the morning and my thinking hat isn't good, but not that it ever is. But anyways, it's a nice rinse hose, and this fitting, it's a QD fitting, and if you don't lubricate it from time to time, it either won't open so that you can get this in fitting for your hose on so that you can actually use this outside shower or rinse station, or you can't get the hose back off. So if you put a little petrolatum jelly right on the metal area here, and then work it in and out of the fitting, it'll work just fine. We can't do it one-handed, but we'll show you. Okay, so we've lubricated this a couple of times, and now we'll just take our thumbs and hit that, and you can see how easy the hose popped off. That's how it should work, and the hose goes back on just as easy. So something you might want to consider doing a couple of times a year, and it'll keep your rinse station hose working, and it'll keep this quick release fitting from sticking and jamming up on you and giving you more headaches that you don't really need.